My brothers and sisters, you are now watching the Gamer 2323, so just forget about the chores you're supposed to do. Put your feet up, get your Kool-Aid, fried chicken, popcorn, get whatever you may need! And I hope you enjoy the video. Oh my god. That was a lot to take in. That was a lot to take in. That was a lot to swallow. That was a lot to embrace. That was a lot to process. Whatever you really want to call it. That jump was a lot to sit through, man. That was a lot to take in. I'm actually still tired right now just because I didn't get... I have not gotten a lot of sleep. So, because my viewing was at 11 p.m. and I got out the theater like around 2:30ish. And then, you know, as I'm recording, this was my sister's birthday, so then I didn't have to wake up early for that, stuff like that. But, yeah, so, I'm kind of tired. And I was going to do, like a little review, like, as soon as I got out. But I was so drained after I watched that movie, and I'm just like, if I do this junk now, I feel like I won't get everything that I want to say. And I'm actually glad I slept on it. Because I'm going to be real. When that movie ended and those credits hit, I had mixed emotions. I'm actually glad I slept on it because I just felt like if I did that review like as soon as I got home, I might have said some stuff that I might have, you know, took back in the future. So I'm gonna need my notes for this. I will need that because there's a lot to talk about. Oh, and there'll be no spoilers, at least in this video. I won't be dropping no spoilers, nothing like that, so you don't have to worry about that. Just like really what I thought about the movie without... I'm gonna try to be as vague as possible. Alright, so first off, I'm not even sure where I want I'm not even sure where I want to begin. Okay, so we all know like this was a big build up to even get to this point. To get to Avengers Endgame, you gotta go to the start of where this all started. In the MCU, Iron Man 1, 2008, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. Good God, this dude, man. You know what's funny? Before the MCU started and stuff like that, I didn't even give a freak about Iron Man. I really didn't. I knew about him, but I was always like Spider-Man and X-Men and stuff like that. Like, I knew about Iron Man and stuff. I didn't give a freak about it. Like, before the MCU started, I never really cared about Iron Man like that. This dude, Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man is easily... And it's crazy because I was even more of a Hulk fan than Iron Man. Throughout the years, this dude, Robert Downey Jr., has easily made Iron Man one of my favorite Marvel characters. I think he's my favorite Avenger. I don't even think it's really a debate. I don't even think it's a debate no more. Just, oh my god, this dude. So, you know, starting from him, going to where we are now, it was a huge build up to get to this point. And this movie is literally trying to conclude like 10 years of moments, memories, both good and bad, epicness, fight scenes, Marvel humor, that Marvel magic all into one 3-hour film. And they're trying to make a good movie out of this junk. That junk would be hard as freak to do. that junk, because with something like this, it could be hard to please people with, you know, ending, you know, really like a 10-year history, you know, of building up to this point. So one thing I really liked about this movie is this movie felt like that. Like, it had like a lot of references. It had like a lot of flashbacks. You just knew like, if you had watched the movies that led up to this point, like you would catch references. Like there was references all throughout the movie, and I love that about like it was like just and it wasn't like forced. It was just like so well put in. It was just like, oh, I remember when they said that back in you know, it was just like I love the way they did that. The intro. I had to take a sigh on that one. The intro, that intro was tense. That intro was depressing. I was like, oh my god. So it pretty much picks up right where Thanos like left off after he snap half the population to oblivion. It picks up like right after that. And I just love the intro to this movie because that junk was just the acting from everybody in that whole scene, the vibe of it, like it was like, damn. Like y'all suckers really going through it. Like you felt hopelessness from every single character. I loved how like you felt the effects of what Thanos did in that scene. Like everyone, literally everyone. I cannot stress this enough. Everyone is going through it. Everyone's eyes got like tears in them. Everyone's eyes is red, puffy. Like, good God, the acting from Robert Downey Jr. in that scene, my God. And it wasn't just him, it was everybody. Scarlett Johansson, like literally everybody. You literally feel like the weight that these characters are holding because they feel responsible for freaking half the population getting snapped to death, you know? So you really feel that. You feel the impact Thanos has left on the world and these characters. And I thought the way to, you know, start this movie could not have been done any better than the way they did it. So I loved the intro to this movie. Props to that. There's a lot of stuff going on. A lot of it is about, you know, the characters trying to, you know, wipe their tears away and try to regroup, trying to regather themselves to try to come up with a plan to, you know, defeat Thanos for, you know, for what he's done. And say what you want about Thanos, dude. Like, maybe it's because I've always, even from me being a kid, I've always just gravitated towards villains, especially good villains. I've just always like been more interested in villains than the heroes for the most part. You know, there are some good, you know, heroes out there, you know, that I feel like got a good character behind them and good motives and morals, stuff like that, whatever, you know. But when it comes to like good villains, it's hard to like, I mean, yeah, Thanos is a pretty bad guy, I'd say. He only killed, he only snapped like half the population away, you know, but you would be a liar if you told yourself. It's hard not to get excited or listen to this dude whenever he opens his mouth. Like literally when Thanos talks, everyone shuts up and listens to what this man has to say. Thanos is cool in my book, bro. I'm sorry. I like Thanos as a character. I love Thanos in this movie. Again, I'm trying to, I do not want to miss nothing. But yeah, the dude is hard not to like. I'm sorry. I don't know if that's just me. I don't know if that's just me. I know this is about the Avengers trying to, make up for, you know, what he has done. But my God, like when that dude is just on screen, I'm like, man, that dude, you know, so, oh my God, this is another thing. Cause after the movie finished, I was talking with, you know, multiple people like throughout the whole movie, and after it finished, a lot of people, just the people that I was talking to, they were saying that the movie to them was a little boring and they felt like it dragged out. And even before I seen this movie, like you heard people saying that the first 2 hours kind of feel like they drag, and you know the pacing is kind of off and it just feels like it's going slow because I just feel like Marvel movies, you know, throughout the years people are just used to like a lot of action, humor, some backstory, action, some character development, action, humor, action, character development, action. Like, I gotta just use that. This movie was way more like trying to, you know, build back up the characters from what they had lost in Infinity War. And so there's like a lot of talking going on and like a lot of pats on the back going on and like trying to, you know, build everyone back up to where they were before this happened. So I will say that it kind of did feel like at times like the movie did feel like it was dragging a little bit, but I still enjoy this movie. Like, I didn't think at no point throughout when I was watching the movie that I ever get bored. Like, I never got bored during the movie. For those complaints that you are hearing about, like the first 2 hours are slow and then like the last hour is action packed, that is kind of true, I guess. I mean, it kind of depends on who you talk to, because some people think that literally every second of this movie was amazing. This movie has a lot of hype around it, and not every person that's going to see this movie is necessarily, seen or even cared to see all of the Marvel, films that led up to this point. So they're not going to get all the references that was said throughout this movie. They not going to get all like the jokes said throughout this movie. They ain't gonna get the flashbacks and stuff. That's what like really kept me engaged and entertained throughout, the first 2 hours, because even I felt like at times, like, it did feel like the pacing was like a little slow at times. Not it was only like on certain like moments to where I was like watching what was going on, and I'm just like, I just had to check my watch. Like, all right, now we 2 hours in, fam. So there was stuff like that, but like I said, if you haven't seen or even cared to see all of the Marvel movies in the MCU that have led up to this point, a lot of people are going to miss all the references that was said, the jokes, the flashbacks, all that stuff, because there was a lot of that stuff, and I felt like that's what kept me engaged and entertained throughout the whole movie. I was never bored throughout none of this movie, but I can get why some people might say that it felt like the first 2 hours kind of dragged out. Like, that's what a dude said next to me, like, really? Like, this movie got so hyped up, and he said something to the extent how he didn't come to watch. He literally said he didn't come to watch a soap opera. He came to see Thanos lose. And I just started laughing because, some people literally just want to see, like, I don't want to say Michael Bay type stuff, just explosions throughout the whole movie. But some people wanted to see more fighting than what actually happened in the movie. But I think that's why not everyone, that is going to see this movie is a diehard fan of like everything, or has kept up with everything that was going on, and I was like talking to like a lot of people like around from like, because like people were like asking me about stuff like, oh my god, I wish I could say stuff that I want to say, but I want to say no spoil, especially during like one scene. There was one scene that happened, and then the girl that was sitting next to me was like, wait, how is this happening right now? And then I was like, do you remember what happened in the second of there was like a lot of stuff like that going on. So I don't necessarily feel no one will feel the same about, their experience with this movie, because it was just so much to take in. The final act in this movie, I'm sorry, I'm really trying to I'm trying so hard not to miss nothing. The final act in this movie, once it really just is pure action, nothing else going on, which, some people, that's what they wanted to see throughout the whole movie. Once that does happen, wow. Once that junk does happen, oh boy, I personally think, and I don't know if this is a stretch, but it's honestly how I feel right now, that final act where there's just like straight action going on and everybody is just fighting, and just everything that's going on during that scene, I literally felt like that, like, Endgame became the best comic book movie like ever to be put on the big screen. Just with everything going on. I can't. I can't even. I want to say some stuff so bad, but I really can't. I'll leave that for the spoiler video. But you know, if you've seen this movie, everything that's going on in that final act, it was just like, man, these 10 years was worth it. To see all this junk going on, it was just so epic to watch that final scene. Literally, I was sitting back for like the first 2 hours just taking in everything. When that final act came, I literally stayed like this at the edge of my seat for the last hour with everything going on. That final act, man, was something special to see. Tatchup was epic, bro. Tatchup was tremendous. Tatchup was great. Final act, oh my god. I think that made this movie, you know, a 9 out of 10 alone. Like, this movie just from that final hour by default gets a 9 out of 10 for me. Just from that final act, you know, that jump was amazing. I will say this though. This is gonna be like a huge debate. At this current moment, I think I would give Infinity War the edge over Endgame. That's just me. I know some people are saying that this is the best superhero movie ever made and stuff like that. In my opinion, as of right now, again, I have to see this movie again. I really do. But as of right now, I'm putting still I'm giving the slight edge to Infinity War over Endgame. You know, just the slight. I just felt like the pacing was just on point, and like literally every like it just moved along so smoothly and great, and it was just like, oh my god, literally every second of Infinity War was just like it was just like your mind was blown. And not saying it wasn't like that in Endgame, but in Endgame it was a lot more like you had to like really like sit down and like take in everything that was going on. And because of the fact that again, this is like a 10-year and this is a 10-year anniversary. This movie is literally this movie is literally a 10-year anniversary of the MCU. So there's so much going on. So yeah, I mean, that's just how I feel dude, I cannot tell you how many emotions I had running through my body at the end credits. Like when the screen went black and like the lights came back on and like the theater, I was just like, I really didn't even know what to feel. But yeah, man, that's really what I thought about the movie. That's my little review. My little review of Avengers Endgame and what I thought about it. What did you guys think about it? Was this the best Marvel movie ever made in your opinion? Do you put this over Infinity War? Where do you rank this movie in your top 5 MCU movies? All that. I'm drained even thinking about this movie. I'm still thinking about this junk and talking it. Like you can see that I'm getting tired. This movie literally like messed up my this junk like actually like messed with my emotions and stuff like that. So yeah, man. But I still enjoyed this movie thoroughly. If you have not seen Endgame yet, please go see it. So you can say what you think about it and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I thought about. I will be doing a spoiler video most likely, but if I do that, I'm gonna probably do it with a few viewers, get them together and like try to, and it's not gonna be a lot. I might get like 4 or 5 because I don't want everyone talking over each other, but I think that'll be fun to do that. So yeah, I probably look forward to that, later this week. Anyways, I could talk about this junk more, but I don't want to. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Catch you on my next one, alright? Peace.